I must say I'm very disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. I think our government has a serious, serious communication problem. Maybe it's not a communication problem. Maybe it's just an embedded, I don't know. But the one thing I'm not understanding is why the government of South Africa is not addressing the real issue, which is illegal immigration and the crisis that we have.
Tensions continue to rise in South Africa, as activist JACINTA has responded strongly to remarks made by a police commissioner regarding undocumented foreigners in the country. Speaking to her supporters, JACINTA accused authorities of failing to address the concerns of ordinary South Africans, while communities continue to struggle with crime, unemployment, and pressure on public services. According to JACINTA, many citizens feel ignored when they raise concerns about illegal immigration. She argued that South Africans have a right to demand that immigration laws be enforced, and that those who are in the country unlawfully should follow the proper legal processes. Her comments came after the police commissioner urged the public to respect the law and warned against taking matters into their own hands. The commissioner stressed that law enforcement agencies are responsible for dealing with immigration-related issues and maintaining public order. However, JACINTA was not convinced. She questioned why citizens are repeatedly told to remain patient while, in her view, little progress is being made. She insisted that South Africans are growing frustrated and want to see concrete action rather than promises. The exchange has sparked heated debate on social media, with supporters backing JACINTA's stance, while critics argue that the issue should be handled through legal and peaceful channels. As the planned demonstrations against undocumented foreigners draw closer, all eyes are now on both government officials and community leaders. The coming days could prove crucial in determining how South Africa addresses one of its most controversial and sensitive issues. What do you think? Is JACINTA speaking for the concerns of ordinary South Africans, or should authorities be given more time to handle the situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates.
Guys, hi. I just watched a press briefing from the Minister of Police and other government representatives. And I must say I'm very disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. I think our government has a serious, serious communication problem. Maybe it's not a communication problem. Maybe it's just an embedded, I don't know what to call it. I don't know. But the government of South Africa literally just went on TV and expressed that they're ready for the 30th, which is fine. And, you know, you can sense a bit of threats here and there. It's okay. But the one thing I'm not understanding is why the government of South Africa is not addressing the real issue, which is illegal immigration and the crisis that we have of foreign nationals who are even in the country buying documents, having corrupt ways of being on the system, and addressing the issue once and for all. Let's just address the issue for what it is. Don't talk about March and March. Don't talk about the 30th. Talk about the illegal immigration crisis that South Africa has. Talk to the illegal immigrants. And if you feel like threatening anyone, threaten the illegal immigrants who are in the country illegally. Threaten your own officials who are selling off documents. Threaten government officials who haven't been doing their job. Talk to the governments of other countries and threaten them if you feel like threatening someone. Why do you resort to threatening the citizens because they're responding to a crisis that you created? And worst part is you're acting like these citizens are crazy, when the same people who are in the country illegally are the same ones misbehaving and the same ones who've been throwing threats at South Africans, and you're pretending as if you didn't even see. They're the same people who are telling us they're armed and ready. They're the same ones who are instigating violence. But the only people you're directing the threats to is South Africans. And this is very concerning because I don't even think government understands how what they're doing is actually going to backfire to their faces. Because you can't say when someone is like crying to their parents and saying, "Mommy, Daddy, you've been neglecting me. And I'm so angry right now. I want to show you I'm angry by getting out of this house and leaving." And you say, "No, if you dare touch the children of next door who are in this country legally or in this home illegally, who just invaded your space and took over your space, I'm going to beat you up." Like, does that make sense? Like, does that make sense to our government? Like, I'm really, really worried about the South African government. When does the South African government address the issue that we have? Just talk about the issue. Don't talk about anything else but the issue of illegal immigrants in the country. Because right now you've got thousands of them, unknown, undocumented, sitting there at the Durban drive-in. You want to give them food and all of that. That's fine. That's human behavior. That's good. It's a humanitarian thing. But why are you not addressing the issue? Those people are in your country illegally. How did they come in? Where were they staying? What schools were they using? Which hospitals were they going to? Which resources were they using? What jobs did they occupy? What activities were they conducting in the country? Where do they live? With who? Etc. Those are the things you should be addressing as the government. Not threatening citizens because they raised a valid concern and you can see. You can see it now. It's right in your face. That all along you've been ignoring a serious crisis. When does the South African government address the issue of illegal immigrants and some foreigners being in the country with fake documents or buying these documents or corruptly being in the country and doing wrong things in the country? And that is what South Africans are complaining about. That is the issue here. Don't tell us about xenophobia or Afrophobia or ethnic mobilization or whatever you choose to call it. Tell us about the crisis of illegal immigration in the country. How are you going to fix it? That's what we want to hear. Don't threaten us.
He took a stand to speak out also and to defend South African. I've been in South Africa for quite a long time. I've been in many places, especially Natal, where there are Zulu people. The way people are talking about the Zulu people, it's not what I've experienced and what I know about the Zulu people. I've been in Durban. I stayed in Durban, Empangeni, Emandini, Eshowe. All those places I've been there, Richards Bay. I know Cape Town, Nelspruit. I've been all over South Africa. But there's one thing that made me to come openly and defend South Africa, from the way people are expressing situation in South Africa, from the way people are labeling South Africa. Let me speak to people who have never been in South Africa. I was there from 2005. There was a situation in Zimbabwe. There was a time things were very tough in Zimbabwe. The only country that accepted us and other nations, it was South Africa. To a point, they gave us asylum to stay. But other countries, they could not able to do that. So, I'm listening to how people are label South Africa as a bad nation. But I think there are other foreigners who have been in South Africa who can stand with South Africa and speak the reality and the good heart that South African had showed us. I've been there. I've been there. As I'm recording, please, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're from Ghana, here, don't judge me. But also, I pray that the Spirit of God will also make you understand some of these things that are being said about South Africa. People are just exaggerating it.
Foreign nationals in South Africa are now speaking out, and surprisingly, some are showing support for activist Jacinta Ngozi Zuma's stance against illegal immigration. According to reports and social media reactions, a growing number of foreign nationals who are legally living and working in South Africa say they agree that illegal immigration is creating problems for both South Africans and law-abiding foreigners. Some argue that undocumented migrants damage the reputation of foreigners who follow the country's laws and regulations. This development comes as Jacinta and the March and March movement continue to push for stronger action against illegal immigration ahead of the June 30th deadline announced by the movement. Jacinta has repeatedly stated that her campaign is focused on undocumented immigrants and not on foreign nationals who are legally residing in South Africa. Supporters believe that proper immigration enforcement will improve security, create a fair system for everyone, and reduce tensions between communities. However, critics warn that anti-immigration campaigns can fuel hostility and place even documented migrants at risk. Recent reports have highlighted growing fears among many migrant communities as tensions continue to rise across parts of the country. As the debate intensifies, one thing is becoming clear: immigration remains one of the most controversial issues in South Africa today. While many South Africans support stricter border controls, the challenge remains how to address illegal immigration while protecting the rights and safety of those who are legally living and contributing to the country. What do you think? Should legal foreign nationals and South Africans work together to tackle illegal immigration, or is the situation becoming too divisive? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
There was a time when things were not good with our countries. We all flow to South Africa without papers. There's a place in Joburg called a church close to the Joburg High Court. There's a place called Methodist. People were just going there, stay there without papers. People were sleeping in the street around the court, but they never chase us because they understand what we were going through. But I'm surprised when I see people supporting Mexico. Now we forgot all the good things that South Africa has done to us, just because it's now time for us to leave. My asylum expired. Then I stayed in South Africa for more than 7 years without passport. I was illegal. But they keep on showing us good heart. I'm not talking about corruption. I'm not talking about the system. I'm not talking about politics here. I'm talking about the good heart of the people of South Africa that they have showed us during our difficult times. I'm not against much. But I believe there are foreigners who have been in South Africa who can stand and defend South Africa and speak the truth. Some people who are now talking bad about South Africa, I do believe that those are foreigners, maybe who are doing all sort of illegally, selling drugs, doing crimes. But a person who was living in South Africa in peace, I think we should admit and we should appreciate the time South Africa gave us chance to stay there. It's good for us to come back to our home countries, sort out our papers, and go. If you want to go, you can go. I don't believe in what people are saying about South Africa. Let me give you a good example. I lost my wife in 2021 due to COVID. The person who gave me transport to come to Zimbabwe was a South African. The money I used for that funeral was contributed by South Africans. So now I can't stand and say South Africa is xenophobic. They knew that time that I don't have papers, but they have never chased me because they knew the situation that was at home by that time. Please, fellow Africans, let's speak positive about South Africa and appreciate even those who have never been in South Africa. But you had a friend, a family who was in South Africa, they were supporting you to survive in that nation you are. Please appreciate. South Africa is our brothers. South Africa is our fellow brothers. Let's not allow white people to use us to hate South Africa. Please, fellow South Africans, my prayer, not other people, my prayer, you will never fall. Your good heart, whatever you did for foreigners during their difficult times, will speak above what people are saying now. You sacrifice a lot for foreigners. Your resources. God is watching. It might seem like other nations are mocking you, but God will stand with South Africa because of their heart, because of what they have done to other fellow Africans. Times when they were going through situations. Somalians, there was a war. You accepted them. Imagine a person from Somalia. How many countries he left, he passed through to come to South Africa, but you accommodate them. Please, fellow Africans, even those who have never been in South Africa, I pray that the Spirit of God will make you to understand. Myself, up to date, I was illegally staying in South Africa. I had no papers. By the time they started to tell us, go back home and sort out your papers, I realized that God's grace for us to stay without papers has come to an end. What I only did was to pray and thank the nation of South Africa. And my prayer, South Africa, Bafana will not lose this coming game. Mark my words. God will stand with Bafana just to silence mockery. South Africa has been so good to us. South Africa has been so good to us. If I'm asking myself, if South Africa was like other countries, for example, even Botswana, they were chasing us like dogs when we were going through a lot in Zimbabwe. But South Africa accepted us, accommodated us. I stayed in Empangeni with a stranger pastor who is a South African. I stayed in Mandini with a stranger. They accommodated us. They accommodated me. And they took me like a family. Knowingly that I had no papers, I told them that things are not okay home. I just want to make a survival that I can support people home. I worked in Woolworths using an asylum in Durban along Smith Street. There was a manager by the name Harold. If you go there and ask, I worked in Emandini using an asylum, but it was a moment of grace. Please, I will stand with South Africa. I will defend South Africa. And whatever that is happening, I know some people, they want to take advantage of much and mess up what they are doing by looting, by harassing people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the goodness that I've experienced in the land of South Africa. Some of you who are outside South Africa, who have never been in South Africa, you have been receiving groceries money from your relatives in South Africa who had no papers, and you quite knew that they crossed to South Africa without papers. Somalians were crossing, Ethiopians were crossing 4 or 5 countries, flowing into South Africa, go to Durban, along Smith Street. They occupied big buildings. Joburg Mall has been occupied by, go to Hubro. Nigerians were messing there. Because we end up get used of South Africa and end up doing a lot of bad things, forgetting that this is just a season where they accommodate us. But because an asylum is not a permit, is not a resident. They were just showing us message, okay, because of what you are going through, take this paper for now, which means there's a season that will come to an end. Why are we blackmailing South Africa? This is the moment even politicians come together, unite. Please, much. May God cover you. Pakad, may God cover you. People may not understand it now, but they will understand it later. Even if politicians cannot unite, but South Africans unite. As you are chasing us away, as you are telling us to move, to go away, do it in love. I know you as people of love. Don't harass people. Don't beat people. Don't let blood flow on your land. Drive them with love. Chase them with love. Don't kill. Don't beat anyone. Don't let blood of a foreigner flow upon your land. It will speak against your nation. God bless you. It's my prayer, and I'm behind Bafana Bafana. I'll pray, I'll fast for Bafana Bafana to win. God bless you, South Africa, for your good heart. Thank you.